channel, and today I am going to show you how to specifically, well, pretty much speed up your Sims 3 game. Now, I'm going to kind of do this in two sections. I'm going to do the main part for any world, any world pretty much, so any of these tips are for any world, and then I'm going to show you how to speed up Isla Paradisio, that specific world, because a lot of people do run into issues with that world. And I said, listen, I'm going to make a tutorial on it because a few people do run into the issue. So I may as well go ahead and make a tutorial. So I'm hoping I can explain this the best I can possibly can. If I make any mistakes, please do correct me in the comments. But yeah, I'm going to show you how to speed up your game. So first, let's move on to the main tips. Pretty much for any world specifically. And it does work for Isla Paradisio as well. But you do have to do extra tips. So yeah, so the very first thing you want to do is you want to open up your file explorer, go to your documents, electronic arts, and the Sims 3, okay? When you're here, and this is where you should be right now, I am going to show you my speed tips. Some of these I actually got online, thankfully. I'm going to leave the link to the post down below. I can't remember who it was by, but I will leave the link if you want to read more about it. Some of these tips I got. So, yeah, but the very first tip I have for anyone is to go into the DC backup and delete nearly all the files except for CC merge. Don't delete CC merge, but delete the rest of the files that are in there, because don't delete CC merge because it's actually very important for your game to run and all that sort of stuff. So don't delete it. If you do, you just messed up your game. But or you can use Winwar to retrieve it. But anyway, I'm not gonna delete that. Anyway, and the next tip that I have for everybody is to go into featured items, and you can see that I have all these featured items in there, which I don't want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press one of them, Control A, right click on one of them, and just press it and just go delete. These aren't important, but they do regenerate every time you start up your game. That I know, a few people do run into issues, so yeah. Anyway, if it pretty much does help a lot with lag. It actually helped me a lot. That half the time, sometimes that causes the lag. But yeah, the next tip that I have is to delete the package files. So this one, KS cache.package, composition cache.package, script cache.package, sim composition cache.package, and social cache.package. You want to delete these 5, and there you go. But yeah, they regenerate every time as well. It is especially useful if you have mods installed. And yeah, the next tip for you guys who are wondering, the next tip that I have seen, that I actually got this one off the forums, thank you to whoever posted it, is to delete the world caches, guys. You would not have thought about that, but deleting the world caches are completely fine to do. Don't do them every time though. If you're really, the only time you want to delete these, if you have just a lot of lag, specifically Isla Paradisio or any other world, or pretty much when a big glitch happens, a big glitch happens, it's a good time to delete these. I'm not going to delete them, but what you want to do is pretty much just do this, Control A, and then right click on them and delete. I'm not going to do those because my worlds are completely working fine. But the next tip that I have for you guys is thumbnails. Go into the thumbnail folder, and what you want to do is delete KAS thumbnails.package and objects thumbnails.package. They're completely fine to delete. Now, actually, I forgot to say this in the last step as well, but don't do this on Mac. I'm not sure you can do this on Mac, okay? You can delete these. I'm not exactly sure it will do harm to your game, but for you guys on Mac, for the last step, I'm showing you how to delete the world caches. Don't do that, because I've seen people complain about it, saying that their game stopped working after deleting them. So don't do it on a Mac. Anyway, but the next tip, maybe not for everyone, but if you are planning, like, if your game is slow, this tip is for you. But is to download the Nrass Overwatch mod. It's a great mod. I use it personally. It actually speeds up your game, gets rid of rubbish at 3 a.m. every day, some days. So, you know, it is a very useful mod. I use it personally, and it runs fast. Now, you could also use Error Trap and Master Controller to show you these two right now. But what you just pretty much do is, I'll show you with Error Trap here. Now, if this loads, of course, but you know, sometimes the Nrass servers are sometimes slow on my computer. What you want to do, if you, this one's a bit different, guys. If you're planning to download the make sure you read the patch you have. You can check in the launcher, of course, on the bottom left hand side, and you can check what patch you're running. It should be the first 3 digits. So if you have 1.69, you would download the 1.69 patch. But if you have 1.67, you download the 1.67 patch. But for you guys, and one more thing, another mod that actually works pretty well with it, and I use this personally, well, 2 other mods that work good with this mod is the Master Controller. Now, this is about the same as Master Controller. I think it's like the same steps, if this loads, okay? If it doesn't, I won't harm its way. Okay, it's me not be deciding to load. Sometimes my internet can be a little slow, so, or the Nrass servers are, so, yeah. But anyway, it's loading. It looks like it's starting to load. I'll just go off screen until this is fully loaded, okay? Because this could take a bit. The Nrass Master Controller seems to work very well as well, especially resetting Sims, I was just about to say. But make sure you read the patch level. This is 1.66 to 1.65, so if you're just running 9, so if you're running 1.67, you're completely fine. And one more mod that actually works well with it is the Traveler mod. Pretty much the same steps. You know, I'm not going to load the page, but it's pretty much the same steps. What you actually do, I forgot to say this. If this decides to load, of course. But what you just do is click on the base mod. Make sure you download the base mod first, so you can see this is the. Just make sure you read this, but you want to go for this is the base mod. So you want to go base mod, patch level 1.66 to 1.69, and what you will do if you're getting the Overwatch mod. All 4 of these mods tend to work very well. I know this has taken a little while. But I could have just moved on pretty quickly. But I want to just show you guys so you don't get too much dislikes on this video. I know it's a little long. If this decides to load again, here we go. What you do for pretty much any Nrass mod is download. So just press this download button here. I'm not going to do it because I have this mod already. But yeah, and even for the but all 4 of those mods seem to work very well. I don't use Error Trap, but I use the other 3. So I know Error Trap's supposed to work very well. I don't use it personally, but yeah. Anyway, next is, well, the next step is to use SaveCleaner. Now, some of you guys may run into issues with this step. That's why I'm going to also leave the link to version 1.1 someone has put up. But if this tends to work for you, 2.1, you can use 2.1. But I'm going to use 1.1, version 1.1 specifically SaveCleaner because SaveCleaner 2.1 does not work for me. So what I'm going to go and do is I'm going to go into the file I have it stored in. And I forgot to say, you're also going to need Winwar. I actually forgot to say that. But you will need Winwar to download the mod. So if you're asking yourself, oh, I don't have, it's a compressed file, you will need Winwar to actually download it. So make sure you download Winwar before you go ahead and extract the veins. And I also forgot, you will also need the mods folder from the Sims 3 from Mod the Sims. I will leave the link to this down below as well. Anyway, I know this is a bit slow, but you know, this is life. Anyway, what you want to go ahead and do is I have it in my utilities folder. A few. Okay. Then run the Sims this application here when you get it. And what you pretty much want to do is you want to go ahead and press this button here. Now it'll be a little different for the new version. Go to your electronic arts. Listen, why does set up OneDrive always open when I do this? I don't know. Listen, let me just go close down OneDrive. I may as well close down Dell Update. Don't need Dell OneDrive. I don't know what. I know. Anyway, whatever. But yeah, go down to saves. And what you can click any save. I'm not going to SaveCleaner, but what you just pretty much do is select this file here. I'm not going to SaveCleaner, of course, but then just press start cleaning. I'm not going to do it. Just to warn you guys before you do anything like that, make sure you back up those saves, which I should have done, but if you don't, sometimes it may act up. It actually happened to me in my stream at one point. Yeah, I was live streaming one day and it actually happened to me, so be warned guys when using that mod. Yeah, that's pretty much that. I know that pretty much any Pacific world, well, yeah, for any Pacific world, speeds up your game. I am now going to move into game and going to show you how to speed up Isla Paradisio. So if you were asking, I may as well do that here as well, because it has a few more steps than to any other world. So yeah, I will be back to you guys now in a minute when I launched my game and I'm in Isla Paradisio, so I should see you there. Before I should, well, I'm gonna go into game in a sec, but I should have added this step before, but I forgot all about it. But if SaveCleaner doesn't tend to work, there is another method, and especially if your game takes forever to save, or you're getting something like error code 12 or anything down those lines, this is a good alternative route. You could use S3PE, of course, but what you can do is you can delete the package file. So you can see this, if you can see it. Don't delete this one. Don't delete Travel OB package, but this package right here is safe to delete, okay? I think they do regenerate every time, but if your game takes forever to save, it is a good tip. And as well, I also forgot to say another thing, there is a few other tips in game as well for anyone else before we move on to Isla Paradisio tips. Yeah. I will go ahead, go into game now and show you the tips that I'm going to show you the tips other tips for everyone else, and then how to speed up Isla Paradisio for anyone who was wondering. So I'm going to go into game now, and yeah, I'll go into game now, and I'll be back to you guys now in a minute. Okay guys, I'm back in game. Sorry for I was like 2 clips after that we were going back in game, and then I forgot to give you a tip, but anyway, I hope that you understand that. But anyway, before we move on to speeding up Isla Paradisio, I want to give you 1 or 2 more tips, guys, because I know these actually work personally, and maybe I don't use one of them, but I do know that they do speed up your game, especially in build and buy mode. So the tips that I recommend is to disable shop mode, okay? Disable shop mode. This is due to the fact that it actually slows down your game if you think about it, because you're getting a lot of advertisements. So from the Sims resource, just disable them, because it does make your game much faster that I can see. And there's no point of enabling, maybe if you want a shopping game, but that's pretty much it. Don't disable interactive loading screens. I know some of you guys like them, but I recommend you just disable them, because they actually lag up your game a lot, especially it affects loading times, I can see. There's just no point. I know some of you do like them. And as well, while you're here, disable the full moon cycle. But the very main thing is to disable seasons. Or disable some of these weather. I'm not going to do it because I like seasons, but if you are thinking to disable the seasons, you can do that if you like. So, and you can actually, but you could disable them if you like. And as well, I recommend you go ahead and change this lunar cycle just the first quarter, because there's just no point of having that enabled unless you want to explore supernatural, but that's pretty much the only point you want them enabled for. But anyway guys, we are back in game, and I am now going to show you the speed tips that everyone are dreaming for. So the very first speed tip that I have for everybody, well, not everybody, for Isla Paradisio. So if you guys who are not really looking for these tips, you can walk away now. But if for you guys who want to go ahead and play in Isla Paradisio, you can do this. You can follow me, and I'll show you how to speed this up. But yeah, so the very first tip is you want to, from this main menu, you want to go into Edit Town. And from here, what you want to do is you want to go ahead and go to the Scott family. What you want to do is evict. And what you want to do from there, which I'm going to show you now in a sec, if this doesn't take forever, is to delete the family. Or you can place them down somewhere else. But I'm going to delete them because I know, from my opinion, from my understanding, that the game actually lags up a lot if you play that family. So make sure, guys, you go ahead and delete these. And as well, bulldoze the lot, because this lot is causing an issue as well. Especially if you have Master Overwatch installed. People have been complaining, saying that this lot is a problem. Now, you could just build a different house for them and just make sure it doesn't have any routing issues, of course. But it personally helps, in my opinion. I recommend you do that. Yeah, now we're going to go back into game. And we have our next tip. So the next tip, I'm going to show you. Okay, we're going to go ahead and choose a household, of course, because why not? Who do we have here? The babes and I used that for the last when I was filming this. Let's go to the Los Amigos. Okay, whatever they're called. Let's go to these guys. Why not? And I'm going to show you how to speed up your game, of course. So the next two tips, well, okay, story progressions came up. I have other mods as well from Nrass, but I mainly have Master Controller and story progression. Oh, you found love. Oh, that's nice. Let me see who your lover is before we get into it. I know I should not. Oh, it's this girl. And do you have a lover? You have 2 lovers. And you're really in love with this girl. Okay. Whatever. But anyway, the next tip, what we're going to do is you want to press Control, pause your game and press Control-Shift-C. And you want to type in reset sim. Then you want to press Shift and the 8 key together, and it will get you a star. Press enter, and it should reset all the sims. You can see already it's improved. Look at that. That's much more improved. But there is one more tip, guys. There's still a little bit of lag, you can see. So there's one more tip, and this tip is an ultimate tip. Now, for you guys who are willing to actually discover the islands, I wouldn't recommend doing this tip. I'll show you if you don't know what I mean. But if you notice these like uncharted islands that have clouds all over them, well, I can say to you guys, if you want to do like one of those adventures, you can do that. But for you guys who are planning to play the game, are planning to go ahead, well, play it fairly, I won't recommend you do this tip. But for you guys who don't care, you've played in Isla Paradisio many times before, you don't want to do the scuba diving, I'm going to show you the last tip. So the last tip for you guys, and this does require some cheating, but it does work, and actually gets those uncharted islands unlocked, and actually speeds up your game, you can see. So what I'm going to show you now. So you want to put in testing cheats in it. Testing cheats. Hold true. Press enter. And go back to Control-Shift-C and put in discover all uncharted islands. Do it like that. There you go, guys. You've just speeded up your game. And there you go. Okay, we found all the uncharted islands. And now you can just go ahead and put testing enabled false. There you go. I'm going to show you now. This is all working. Isla Paradisio. Maybe there will be still a little bit of lag, but overall, that I can see, you've at least got rid of most of it, which is great for you guys who are planning to play in Isla Paradisio. Now it is still lagging, of course, but you can see it's actually much better than it was before. Let's go to this dirty old resort. You can take over the resort now without not much lag causing. And with that Overwatch mod, that should help you a lot on the way. Now it is kind of lagging, but that's not bad. Look at that. That's much better than it was before. You could see. Well, I can't show you a comparison, but it's much better than it was before. Very bad before, and you know it's at least playable now. So yeah, I'm just going to show you just a bit of gameplay. If I speed up my game, it was actually running very smooth last time. I don't know why, but it was here. Maybe this is just I had to do something. No thanks. I'm not going to be saving this game. And maybe the first few hours it will be laggy. Okay, don't be hard as our future portal. But there you go, guys. I just showed you guys. You can speed up. Well, I'm just going to show you a bit more. You can speed up Isla Paradisio pretty easily. Now it is still lagging. And for other worlds, the most. Oh, it's lagging now, but you know it's actually pretty decent. It's at least somewhat playable. So now it didn't get rid of all the lag you can see, but you know. Let me just try reset sim star again. And sometimes you have to do this twice. If you may have to press for one. And there. Okay, it's running much better. But yeah, if your game lags up, just do reset sim star, or it's just a specific law. I don't know. But anyway, guys, I think I've helped you guys at least sped up Isla Paradisio, and I hope that you speeded up your game by this tutorial, and I hope you did. I just used Isla Paradisio for example because you know that's supposed to be a very laggy world, and we at least got rid of some of the lag. So it is still lagging, of course, but you know that's okay because we at least got some of the lag away, and especially if you're planning to do a let's play or anything, it is very useful. But I hope you did enjoy this tutorial. I hope I helped you out a lot. At least you can show these tips to your friends. Share this video, of course, to any other simmers that you know. But yeah, I hope you did enjoy this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I hope you have a happy simming. Happy simming.